Well, hello, welcome to Lake Ridge Academy Parent Orientation. Thanks so much for coming tonight. My name is Stephanie Billemick, and I'm the director here at LRA, and we just want to welcome you to this school year. We're waiting on a couple more families to come through. Our kindergarten meeting just finished, so they will be coming in to settle in. If I don't lose this thing, like during this, it's going to be a miracle. It feels like it's just going to fall off. So, hello, yes, welcome. Come on in and sit down. If you still have anything in your possession, the form that needed to be notarized if you're a new family, or the security release form, anything like that, if you still have it, if you'll just jump up real quick and go turn that in to Debbie, who's right out these doors, that would be great. Our notary is about to leave, so I just want to make sure everybody did get their form notarized who need to do that if you're a new family. Okay, great. We'll get started, and welcome if you're joining us on live stream or watching this on recording. We just want to make sure, especially if you're a new family, that you come to a parent orientation at least one time, just so you can we can go through the handbook together and make sure we're on the same page. Let's just start our evening off by praying together, and then we will go through our handbook. Lord, thank you so much for tonight and for these precious families who are entrusting their beautiful children to us this year, Lord. We do not take that lightly, and we feel that it is a huge privilege to be a part of their lives in leading them and teaching them and growing with them this year. We do ask for your guidance and just that you would lead us as we go through the next 9 months, and just help us to have a great evening just getting to know each other as these parents get to meet their teachers and see where their child is going to be spending their days, and just learning and growing this year. We love you so much and ask for your blessing on this meeting and on this year. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. Oh, I have control. Okay, I wanted to update you real quick on our shade structure that's coming. Second week of September is when it's scheduled to be here. We had our ice storm back in February. We lost a tree that would have been on the far left side of that picture, and it nicely shaded that area over there, and we found out later, a few months after the ice storm, it wasn't growing any leaves, and it died. What's really a shame is we spent money before the ice storm having it trimmed. Then we had to have it cut down. But that's just the way it goes. We lost 5 trees on our campus. I'm sure some of you lost trees as well. But anyway, we're getting a new shade canopy. So in your folder, if you would like to help us by donating, we have already raised a good amount of the money. Thank you so much if you have given. But if you would like to give to that, you can just click that QR code, or you can do cash or check to help us just finish raising the money so we will have another shade structure on our playground. If you are a new family by the first day of school, you're here, you're watching the meeting, check. You're going to turn in your new family packet. If you're here tonight, you probably already did that, check. So you're already ahead of the game. And for all families, you will need to turn in by the first day of school the form that's at the back of the parent handbook. So the parent handbook is in your folder, so we're going to walk through that together. So we're all going to sign that and just rip off that back page and turn it in. You can do that tonight when we're done here if you don't have any questions, but if you do have questions, I am happy to talk with you and answer anything before you sign and turn that in. So let's just start with page 1. Some pages I'm going to spend more time on than others, and some I'll just fly through really quickly because I want you to be able to get on to meet with your teachers. So I just wanted to point out on page 1 that you can always come in and talk to me. My assistant is Miss Elisa, so she's always with me at the door. You can come and talk to either one of us if you ever have any concerns or questions. And that our goal as a staff is just to create an environment of love and grace. And even if we don't always agree on everything, we want each person to feel respected. And so I just also would ask that you extend grace and patience toward other LRA families and to your teachers as well. My phone number, my cell number is at the bottom. Please put that in your phone. I don't mind if you text or call me on my cell phone. It's the best way to get me. I'm not normally sitting at my desk on a school day to answer that phone. So that is the fastest way to get me. If you're ever running late and you need it in the building, you can text me because we're locked all day. So always a good idea to have that number. Okay. Page 2 in our handbook is about tuition. So tuition is due on the first Thursday of each month. Always the first Thursday. Drill it in your brain. The dates, for those of you who like to have things in your calendar, are all right there for you. So if you want to put reminders, I will remind you. I try to send out reminders without being super obnoxious, but I know it helps to have reminders, so I will do that. Remember that you're paying for the upcoming month and the space reserved for your child, not your child's attendance. So tuition is it's based on an annual amount, and we just divide it into 9 equal payments. Much easier for you to remember the same amount every month. There are some months, like September, I think September is a really long month, so we'll be here more school days, and then some months like December when we have a break are shorter. But it doesn't matter, it's always the same amount every month. You can pay with credit or a debit card or ACH, which is directly from your checking. You can go online and do that. It is live tonight. If you want to get that taken care of for September, you can go ahead and do that. I tend to text out the direct link, so I'll do that in the next couple of days. That way you can just click it and go straight there, but you can go to our church website and get there as well. If you want to pay online, the due date, so September 2nd, it's only live until 11:59 on the 2nd, and then after that it turns off and you're late. So, sorry, you have to pay a late fee if you're late. And so you would just pay that the next school day with cash or check. So again, the live link online to pay is only good through the end of that day that it's due. But you can also pay with cash or check if you like to do that. There's a red box. It's out in the Commons tonight. It looks like that. And there's a little sign there that has all the amounts of the classes, because I know it's hard to remember exactly, especially if you have multiple children. So that's listed out there. So you can just put cash or check in that box, and you can throw it in there too. If you choose to withdraw your child before the end of the school year, just notify me as soon as possible, and tuition will apply for the days already attended that month. So that's tuition. Okay, let's go to morning drop-off on page 3. So I unlock the doors at 8:55 and school begins at 9 o'clock. You are welcome to wear a mask in the school, as anyone is. Our teachers, our parents, children are welcome to, but it is not required. There will be dots set up in the Commons. If you were here last year, just these big colorful dots. The kids love them, stand on them. And we do temperature checks, so we started that last year. And we are going to continue it this year, which we actually decided to do that even before things started ramping up a bit again with COVID, because no one in this room would ever do this, I know. But sometimes there is a temptation. If your child's a little feverish on a morning and you really have something you need to go do, to maybe give them some Tylenol and go ahead and send them to school. No one I know would ever do that here. But it has happened in the past. So we have just found that doing temperature checks every morning makes parents just much more aware, and just, is my child a little off? You know, am I questioning that? Do I really need to send them? So people did such a good job last year communicating with us and keeping their kiddos home if they needed to. So we're going to keep doing temperature checks for now. And as you come into the Commons, you may be asked to wait a few moments while we're doing temp checks. If our hallway is really crowded, trying not to get it super crowded, to get people to drop off quickly. That's why it's important to drop off quickly. Do not linger in the hallway to chat. Please don't linger outside the classrooms to watch through the windows. Linger is the word here. Am I saying don't look in the window at your child? No, I'm not saying that. I know when you drop your child off, it's it's sweet to peek in the window and watch and see what they're doing. But just lingering for a long time, we want to try to clear our hallways as quickly as possible. So just hugs and kisses at the door, happy and quick. Your teachers are prepared for some anxious hearts and for some crying. So just rest assured that your children are in good hands when you hand them over to their teacher. Please do not enter the classrooms during school hours unless your teacher asks you to step inside to speak with her. Again, it just helps us to drop off quickly and move along with our day. Please follow the traffic flow pattern as much as possible. So basically, where you entered tonight is where it's in yellow. Everyone enter here. That is really hard to read. It's hard for me to read. I don't know if you can read it, but the yellow says everyone enter here, so that's where you come in. And then if you are in PDO, or in Miss Debbie's 2's class, or in Miss Heidi's 3's class, those classes are kind of situated together, and they're closer, they're just kind of in the middle of the school. So if you are dropping off in those classes, you can go back and exit out that same door where it says enter. If you have a child in kindergarten, Miss Mandy's 3's class, the pre-K classes, those are grouped together at the end of the hall, and there's an exit door right there in red where it says exit only. That is where you can exit. And again, I'm not being legalistic about that. Like if you have to come back down the halls, you have a child that needs to go to the restroom, that's okay. We're not being legalistic about it. It's just if you generally exit, it kind of spreads us out and helps us not to get all congested down at the end of the hallway. So that exit door looks like that picture on the left when you go out for those classes, and there's some little stairs right there where you can go down. So just as a general rule, obviously if you have a stroller, you probably want to kind of come back to the entrance because there's a ramp right there where you can bring your stroller down. So just use your best judgment when you're figuring out where to exit. If you have a sad or crying child, I will work with you, and your teacher will work with you individually on how to get through that the best. And then just make sure your teacher has greeted your child before you walk away from the door. If someone new is picking up, we're going to go through that on page 5 in a minute, and just want to tell us that. If your child is not going to be here, if you're out of town or your child isn't feeling well, please text or call us. We do want to know. My teachers start asking, do you know where so-and-so is? Have you heard from them? So they will be wondering where your child is. Excuse me. And if you arrive late, you'll just need to text me because we are locked in all day. So if you're late, you'll text me and I'll come open the door for you to let you in. So that kind of covers our morning drop-off. So next page, afternoon pickup. Pickup is at 2 p.m. I unlock the doors at 1:50, and you can come in and pick up at 2. There is a $10 late fee if you're after 2:10. It increases by $10 every 10 minutes. So if you pick up at 2:10, it's a $10 late fee. 2:20, it's a $20 late fee. 2:30, it's a $30 late fee, and you would pay that on the following school day. Frequent late pickups can result in dismissal. The teachers are cleaning their rooms, and then they have children in big schools that they have to go get. So we just need to respect their time as much as possible so that they can get on and pick up their own children. If you have something happen, just call me or text me. So I'm not saying all this without any grace. We all need grace. There are things that happen. If your car breaks down, or sometimes 30 and 80 are just, you got to prepare for that. But sometimes you have prepared, even if you prepared for it, something you are literally sitting, and people will send me pictures. I'm sitting and there's all, and I get it. We'll figure it out. So just communicate with us as soon as you can if you're having trouble getting here on time. The afternoon pickup is just the same exit as in the morning. And again, just quickly, just to get our hallways clear, keep them from becoming congested. If you need to have a conversation with a teacher, like when you're picking up at the door, obviously your teacher's going to chat with you for a second, but that just needs to be brief to keep traffic moving in the hallway. And so if you need more time or your teacher needs more time to discuss with you, you can call or text or email, or if you really need face-to-face time, then she may just ask you to wait a few minutes until she's dismissed everyone else, and then she might ask you to step aside so that you guys can have a conversation. If you want to chat with other parents, I think that is wonderful and lovely. But if you, again, won't linger in the hallway to do that, a lot of parents, like on decent days, they like to go outside to this grassy area and the kids play and the parents get to talk. So feel free to do that after school. We just want to exit our hallways quickly to get them clear. Okay, page 5, security procedures. Your child's safety is of the utmost importance to us, so we're going to follow these procedures regardless of the amount of time or inconvenience that's involved. If you're a new family, you have filled out a security release list with driver's license, and you have told me a family password. Everyone who picks up your child should know your family password. We will ask for the password, and please don't be offended if we ask you, especially dads, like, I'm like, I know you, but I just don't remember. So sometimes we have to check if you don't pick up all that often, or if it's a grandparent who's picked up a couple of times. So we'll be checking that, and we're just trying to learn all of our new family faces quickly. But if you know that someone new is picking up, please tell me or your teacher or Elisa so that we can be looking for them at the end of the day and help them find the right room. The first time someone's picking up who's new, we'll look at their picture ID because you've given me their driver's license, so we're going to compare that, and then they need to tell us your password. Then Elisa or I will walk that person to the door, introduce them to your child's teacher, so now they have met and they know that this is the person who's supposed to pick up today. Once we get to know the people on your list, if they pick up multiple times, we won't have to obviously do that every time, but at the beginning, we will double check. If someone needs to pick up who's not on your list, like you've called everyone on your list and you can't, and your neighbor's coming or something who's not on your list, I don't have a license because you didn't list them, so they definitely need to know your password, and you're going to tell me verbally their name on the phone. I'm going to double check and make sure that's the person who's supposed to be picking up your child. And if there's anyone who's not allowed to pick up your child, please let us know. Please let me know. Make sure Elisa knows and your teacher knows that as well. Okay. Health policies. Okay. Please do not bring your child to school if they have any of the following symptoms. Conversely, they'll be sent home if they exhibit any of the following symptoms during the school day. Fever, they need to be fever-free without medication for 24 hours. So without Tylenol, without Advil, for 24 hours before they would return to school, and we will be doing temp checks in the morning, as I mentioned. No vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, even associated with teething, which I know it's hard. You're like, I know they're teething. I'm like, I know they are too, but it has happened that in the past that we both thought the child was teething, and the next day the mom called me and said, actually, she had strep throat. So we have to be cautious of all those things. So fever-free, vomiting, diarrhea-free, all of the wonderful things for 24 hours before returning to school. Coughing, congestion, yellow and green runny noses. Taught to us if your child has seasonal allergies. There are some children, bless, who just constantly have a clear runny nose, who we love. We love those children, but they do. And so, but we know it's allergies. We work with mom. They're on meds or natural remedy or something. So just talk with us. We'll get to know your child quickly. You can kind of read through all those things. Skin infections, very important. Any kind of rash, if we're not sure, obviously, we don't want them at school because those can be very contagious. A sore throat, headache, exhaustion, like overly tired. If your child's just off, you're like something, I'm not sure, but they just are overly tired or exhausted. Pink eye infections, those are super contagious, so they need to be on meds for 24 hours before returning to school. You may be required to provide a note from your doctor, depending on what it is, for them to be able to come back. I know it's hard when your child has to stay home. it always happens on a fun day. It always happens on pumpkin day or something like that. And it's not fun for them to miss, but we just want to be diligent in not coming to school when we don't feel well so that we don't spread anything around. If your doctor has prescribed antibiotics, they need to be on that for 24 hours, and they need to be healthy enough to go outside. So if you're sending to school saying, but they still can they stay inside? There isn't anyone to stay inside with them while their class is outside. So they do need to be able to participate in outdoor activities. If they appear ill during school hours, they're going to be isolated. We're going to call you to pick up the child, and the decision to send a child home is at my discretion. I obviously consult with all those beautiful ladies back there, and we've seen a lot of things over the years, and we make the best judgment call that we can at the time. Most of the time, well, I shouldn't even say that out loud. Most of the time we're right. I mean, most of the time there's something going on. Sometimes I have been wrong, and I've sent a child home, and the next day they're like, it was nothing. And so I apologize in advance if that ever happens. But we make the best decisions we can at the time with what's presented. We don't have clinic facilities. So you'll need to pick up your child within 30 to 45 minutes once you're contacted. So you just need to think through that. So if you need to have like a backup person, maybe there's another mom, a friend at preschool, a neighbor, a grandparent, an aunt, somebody that you can, have an understanding with. If you're across town in Fort Worth for the day doing something that's more than 30 to 45 minutes away, that you would have somebody else who could pick up your child if they become sick. In the event of a medical emergency, we would contact you first, and then you have listed for me on your security list in order the people you would want me to contact next if I can't get in touch with you. So it's important that you do list those people and just think that through. Don't send medication with your child. We can't give it unless it's like for life-threatening emergencies like an EpiPen or Benadryl for an allergic reaction or something like that. And if you have something like that and you didn't list that on your form, please come talk to me. We can take care of that and do a medical form, and you can keep that in their backpack, but we all have to be aware of it and have a form filled out. Okay, COVID policies. It just gets funner and funner, doesn't it? I get to do all the fun stuff and then get to go to your boring classrooms. So fun. COVID policies. Okay. Do not bring your child to school if there has been known close contact with a person who has COVID, or obviously if your child exhibits any of the symptoms listed on the previous page that we just went through. If a child or staff member tests positive, then all parents will be notified, but obviously the personal identity of that person will be protected, but we will let you know which classroom had the positive case. According to the CDC, if you exhibit symptoms, you can be around others after 10 days since symptoms appeared, 24 hours no fever, other symptoms are improving. Also, according to the CDC, if you think or know you have COVID, it's important to stay home, stay away from others. When you can be around others depends on different factors for different situations. I just read that the other day, so I'm like, that's kind of, nebulous. But it's just, varies from person to person. So because of that, we will make decisions on an individual basis and talk with parents individually about what's going on. If a child or staff member lives with someone who has COVID, that child or staff member will stay home and monitor for symptoms. And if you have a sibling in another classroom, like obviously both siblings would need to stay at home if someone in your house has COVID. If we have to close a classroom for a period of time, I will make that decision. It's possible the entire school would need to close for a period of time if classes can't be adequately staffed or if we had several cases in the school. If a classroom or the school is closed for a period of time, there are no refunds for tuition. But we pray every day before we start our day, so I hope you will be praying with us this year. Last year, we closed for 1 week for the school, and we didn't have a lot of cases. We just had one case, but we just felt like that was the right thing to do at the time. So we were very blessed to finish our school year, and it was wonderful. So we're going to be praying every morning that we meet, and pray along with us. that we will have a year that we will be successful. So when you let us know your child's at home sick, we're going to take the time to talk to you about it on the phone and ask some questions. But most importantly, obviously, we want you to consult with your child's doctor. We want to be very mindful and aware of the possibility if a child's displaying symptoms, they could have COVID. But we also don't want to be hasty and panicked. And we know we're still going to have strep throat, and we're still going to have flu. We're still going to have the common cold, seasonal allergies, stomach bugs, all the things, more and more things. That's just preschool and childhood, and it's okay, and it's normal. And we know we're going to have those things, so we want to pay attention and ask questions and just encourage you to communicate fully with us and with your doctor, and we'll just assess each child in each situation individually. Parents, again, did such a good job last year being cautious, keeping their children home if they were unsure, if they weren't doing well, even if just they were suspicious, or just sometimes, your child, you're just like, I don't know, they don't have a fever, something's just off. They were so good about keeping them home and communicating with us. So thank you for that. And let's just continue to do that this year. Okay, hygiene and cleaning on the next page. These ladies clean well. They clean their classrooms and common areas. They are fantastic cleaners, so I appreciate them so much. We keep our common areas clean, and we use good hand hygiene, hand sanitizer, washing of hands. We cover cuts, like if your child has a mosquito bite or something they're scratching at, it starts to bleed, we'll cover that, or any cuts they might get. We don't share towels or blankets. We keep rest mats and rest blankets in separate big old Ziploc baggies to keep them separated. We use a Force of Nature cleaner, which we started using last year, which I love because it's completely non-toxic. Like, you can spray it like right next to a child. It's just, I know it sounds crazy, it's vinegar and salt and water, and you put it in this little machine, and it does something scientific. I don't know, but it kills COVID and all the things, but it's non-toxic. I love it. So we use that for disinfecting. Masks are not required. Obviously, children are not required to wear masks, but they're welcome to. We can't train your child to wear a mask, though, so if you've trained them to wear a mask and you want them to, that is completely fine. But we're not going to force them to keep it on or try to train them here, so just keep that in mind. Obviously, parents and teachers are welcome to wear masks as well. Restrooms and potty training, we spray our restrooms and clean them throughout the day as needed, wearing gloves when we're doing diaper changes and potty training. As far as getting together for large groups, last year we really kept our classes separated for COVID, so we're adjusting a little bit this year for the fall, for sure, and we're going to reevaluate as we get closer to Christmas. PDO and 2s will go outside when they're ready to go outside on the playground. They'll go outside together, so they are together sometimes. The 3s classes, they go out together, and the pre-K classes have the same playground time. When we come to chapel, we sit in separate rows, our separate classes, and when we have Stretch and Grow, which is we have it twice a month for 3s and up, it's like large motor skill, music, nutrition, they love it. But all classes have separate class times to go to that, and the teachers clean in between them. We are planning a tentative Christmas program. It's been a long time since we had a program in here, but we're not going to make a final decision on that yet. We're going to have something on the 14th, but our programs last year, we videoed them and just put them on our Facebook page, our private page. So we might need to do that again. We will make a decision maybe around in November if you're going to be able to come or if we're going to put them on our Facebook page. Okay. Classroom information, we'll kind of fly through this. Bad weather, we do fire drills with the kids. They do a great job at that. We have bad weather policy. If we're closed, if Garland, Mesquite, Forney, Dallas, I can't remember if the R is for Richardson or Rockwall. Is Rowlett a school district? No. I probably meant Rockwall or Richardson. Really, if anybody is around us is closed for bad weather, for ice or snow, we're probably going to be closed too. But I will text you and email you if possible. Email on my phone through our church system usually works fine. I really highly suggest you sign up for text, and it shows you how to do that at the back of this book. That's the fastest and best way for me to get in touch with you and to do reminders. Communication with your teacher, just please communicate with us. If there's anything going on that might be causing your child to have anxiety or stress, if your child's going through a difficult time outside of school, it's likely going to show up in their behavior at school. So we just encourage you to chat with us. We're not going to share your business all over the place, but as far as how it's affecting your child and how we can help them in the classroom, that's a huge, huge help to us. We do discourage discussing sensitive issues with a teacher, like right in front of your child or in front of other parents. So if you need to discuss something, just ask your teacher for some private time to step aside where you can have a conversation. Progress reports, pre-K and kindergarten, your teacher's going to tell you about that when you go back to your classroom in a few minutes, so we do those. All right. Oh, sorry, I went too fast. Rest time, your teachers are going to tell you about that when you go to the classroom. I don't need to touch on that. Chapel, I already told you we do that once a month in here. It's a lot of fun. Stretch and grow, I kind of touched on that. See, we're flying through the pages. Parent responsibilities, backpacks. I'm sure you've all gotten a little backpack or a bag for your child. I do want to say on this, for all classes, even kindergarten, please include a complete change of clothing. Just put it in a Ziploc bag, throw it in the bottom, and in case of accidents or spills, please include underwear and socks. Think about that for a moment. Yes, we many times need socks if a child is standing up and has an accident. So please include those things, even if you think, my child hasn't had an accident in several years. You just never know. Just throw it in the bag and you can forget about it. Please bring a labeled water bottle for your child. Make sure their name is on it. They do use those in class and when they go outside on the playground. For clothing, just comfortable, washable. We're in preschool and kindergarten. We get dirty. We do paint, all the things. Please don't dress your child in an outfit or in shoes that you don't want to get dirty. Nothing precious that is precious to you for preschool. Closed-toed shoes are the best, but I get it. I wear flip-flops every day, so I get it if your child wants to wear sandals or flip-flops. Just know that we have rocks and we have mulch on our playground, so as long as your child doesn't complain about that and they're constantly taking their shoes off, I leave that decision up to you. We do go outside every day, weather permitting, so if you're not sure about the weather, just throw in a jacket. It's always better to bring an extra layer, even if you're not sure if they need it, and just if you'll put their name on the inside of their jacket and all those little things, labeling would be a real help to our teachers. The next page, personal belongings. Obviously, if you have a younger child and they're anxious and they have like a lovey or a little blanket from home that's going to help them during their nap time or resting, that is fine. But aside from show and tell items, especially for our bigger classes, or something that will help your child sleep if they nap here, just please leave all other toys at home. Storage, your teacher tonight and tomorrow, if you come for Meet the Teacher, they're going to help your child learn the routine, where to put their backpack, where to put their lunch, their folder, all the things. We do ask that you check the contents of your child's backpack each day, and please check their folder every day. Sometimes we open the folder and there's a lot of stuff in there because parents aren't looking at it. So please just check your folder every day and just pull out what's coming home. That would be great. Okay, special occasions, birthdays. We love to celebrate your child's birthday. Just communicate with your teacher ahead of time about maybe what you are going to bring. These are young children, so some parents, I know you're excited about your child's birthday, but they don't need, a small treat is really great to bring at preschool, like Little mini cupcakes are great, cookies, donuts. They love donut holes, like bringing those in the morning. Kids love that for their birthday. So just encourage you to just think about, it doesn't have to be a ginormous sheet cake. Holidays, there's a calendar in your folder for the fall. Just kind of goes through our special event days. We'll do school pictures in the spring. And then field trips are just pre-K and kinder, and your teacher will communicate with you about that way ahead of time if your class is going to do any kind of field trip. Okay, special concerns, behavior and discipline. Let's just walk through this together real quick. We want to treat each child with love and respect. We want to help them learn appropriate behavior. We never want to punish a child. We want to work with them and with you to help correct any kind of poor behavior. We want to be positive, loving, asking the Lord to guide us and how we deal with that. Crying is normal for many children, especially a little bit younger, but even sometimes in pre-K and kinder. If it's heavy crying, 45 to 60 minutes, we will work with you. We'll call you. We might ease your child into the program. Remember what I said about lingering? Please don't stand at the window and torture yourself if your child is crying. I know it's hard to walk away, but your teachers are prepared, and they love your child already. They have already been praying for your children. So if your child's crying, hugs and kisses at the door, and then if you need to walk back out where I am in the commons and wait for a few minutes, or if you want to wait in your car and just text me in 5 minutes, how's he doing? We will go and take a picture and say, he's already calming down. Most of the time, they calm down very quickly. And so we will work with you if your child is upset. For physical behavioral issues like biting, scratching, hitting, yelling, running away, or obedience issues like defiance or disrespect, we'll do one-on-one, obviously get down on their level, talk it through, time out if necessary. I didn't write this, but obviously we pray with them. If they have said something or done something to another child, we do apologies. We help them learn how to do that. Privileges can be taken away, or outside time or free play centers. We would never withhold lunch or a special treat like a birthday treat. We would never do that. Sometimes the teacher will bring the child down to me. Everybody needs to calm down a little bit. They'll bring him, and your child can come down a little bit, and I can talk to them, or Elisa can talk to them. If the problem continues on subsequent days, we'll notify you. We'll maybe ask for a meeting together. We want to strategize together. We want to work with you on a plan that can be connected to home and school. What does your child care about? What could they work toward for positive behavior? We are always looking for the positive way to work with you if there's any kind of behavioral issue. If poor behavior continues, withdrawal is an option. That is always our last desire, but safety does have to be our first concern. So again, we just want to work with you on anything like that. If you are in the PDO class or the twos class, I'm not going to go through our biting policy, because normally if we have that issue, it is in PDO, 1-year-olds or 2-year-olds. It's not that it can't happen in 3s and 4s, but I don't know that it's ever happened here in 3s and 4s. It's normally a toddler, 2-year-old issue. So I will let you read through that, and if you have any questions about our biting policy, you can ask me or your teachers, and we can discuss anything with you. But that is our policy written out for biting. Okay, information sources. So this is where you can sign up for text updates. Just very simple. You just send a text to 81010 in the message line at LRA 21. This is a new list, so if you're with us last year, that list is gone. It's just easier to start over than for me to go in and try to figure out who to take off. So I will let you sign up for that. I really do ask that at least one parent sign up to receive those. I promise I will not text you every day. I will not. There are sometimes weeks that go by when I don't send a text, but I will send out reminders about tuition, reminders about It's Red T-shirt Day, reminders about different things. If there's any kind of an emergency, which I've never had to do this, but if there was, that would be the first thing I would do, is send a text. And if I could get to my email next, I would. But I really do encourage you to sign up for text. It's the fastest, easiest way for me to communicate with you about all the normal things, and also if there was anything I needed to get you for. Grandparents or other family members, aunts, uncles who regularly pick up. I have some wonderful grandparents who are just part of the regular pickup and drop-off process. They could benefit from signing up too, because I do send those reminders. So if they're doing that regularly, they are welcome to sign up as well. And make sure that your email is up to date. If you change that during the year, let me know, because I do communicate that way. But I'm not an email person either. I really prefer texting. I will communicate with you by email, but I'm a texter. So, but do check your email, because I will send things that way. Facebook, we have our Lake Ridge Academy 2021-22 Facebook page, so you can join that. And then we've got calendars from your teacher. We've got our fall calendar. So we try to do our best job in communicating with you and keeping you up to date on what's going on. So we reached the last page. Awesome. Thank you for being patient going through this with me. All families, so new and returning, are going to sign this page. You are the legal parent, legal guardian, or the parent of the student, and you're just saying that you understand and consent. So make sure you read through that. The COVID policy at the bottom. And if you feel comfortable signing this tonight and want to turn it in, I've got a box right up here in the front row, or right out there when you walk out. There's a box. You can drop it in. If you have questions or want to talk to me about anything before you sign it, that is completely fine. We are going to, tomorrow, have Meet the Teacher. If you're not remembering exactly what time you're supposed to come, when you go see your teacher in a minute, she has a list, and she can remind you what time you signed up for. So Meet the Teacher, always so much fun for the kids. It's great for them to be able to do that and not have the first day be the very first day they've ever seen this person. So we're excited about that tomorrow. And now I am going to introduce our teachers really quickly so that they can go ahead and run to their classrooms and be there to greet you when you come. When you do leave here and go to the classrooms, that your teacher's name is on the outside. So Elisa will be out there. She'll kind of help direct you if you need help knowing where to go. So for our PDO class, for our 1-year-old class this year, we have Miss Lindsay and Miss Starla. They're at the back there, and they're going to take off and go head to the PDO room. Next, for our 2-year-old class, we have Miss Debbie and we have Miss Stephanie back there. They're going to head off to the 2-year-old room. And then we have 2 3-year-old classes this year. So we have Miss Heidi and Miss Laura in our first threes class, and they are heading off to Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. That's Miss Heidi's theme. So they're going to head off and go to that. And then we also have Miss Mandy and Miss Minnie in our other threes class. So they are going to head down the hall. And then we've got Miss Amanda and Miss Hannah in our pre-K 4 class. And our pre-K 5 class is Miss Rebecca and Miss Kristen. So they're right next to each other. And then kindergarten has already had a meeting before this meeting, because they have a lot more to talk about. So they have already met, so some of them have already gone, but Miss Kim's kindergarten class is also down the hall. So again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to stop and ask me. If you want to turn something in, I have a box here. We have a box out there. If you're not sure where to go, Elisa will walk out there and just kind of direct you which way to head. Thank you guys so much for coming, and have fun meeting your teachers.